Alright, in this video I'm going to show you some new selectors that let you select an element if it has an attribute or if that attribute contains a special value. Alright, so this should be tons of fun. Okay, first of all, here's my web page. It's it's like 3 hyperlinks, 3 images of old-timey cartoon characters, and then I just have a couple little styles up here already. One to make the hyperlinks bigger and black and space them out, and another one to set the image sizes, well, set their widths. Anyway, so what this video is going to teach you is how to select something by their attribute. So, for example, let me copy this. So the first one is going to select an element if it has a specific attribute. So here's what that looks like. So you have these square brackets, and then the name of an attribute. So attributes up here are target, href, alt, source. Those are attributes. So let's choose target. Oops, target. So that's the name of an attribute. And then what we're going to do is set the color to red. So any element on the page that has a target attribute will be red. So you notice out of the 3 hyperlinks, the only 2 that use targets are the last 2. That's why they're red. Alright? So you could put like an A in front to say only look in A elements, or you could just say any element that has a target. So, alright. So that's the default, that's like the basic, if it has an attribute selected, selector. Alright, the next one I'm going to show you guys. So there's a bunch of them. I'm only going to show you some of them. So I'm only going to show you 5. There's like more than that. So the next one is select an attribute. Select an element if it has an attribute with a specific value. So let's say we do the same thing. Target, right? So I'm just going to set up the same way. And we'll do color. Alright. So anyway, but now we want to set it to be a specific value. So like if the target is equal to blank, it'll be green. And if you look up here, this target is equal to blank, so it's green. This one is equal to top, so it's still red. So it makes them both red here. Now the one that's blank is green. So that selects any target that has this value. Alright, so there's that. And then you can also select elements if their attribute starts with a value. So like, so if an attribute starts with like a value, like let's see. So now we'll work with these images down here. So let's say alt, and then this time it's this guy. He's above the 6. So you hold shift and hit 6 to get that guy. So you put, instead of just equals, you do, I think that's a caret, I'm not sure. Anyway, caret equals, and then let's say, if we look over here at the images, here's their alts. Disney, Mickey Mouse, Disney, Donald Duck, Looney Tunes, Daffy Duck. So let's say we want to select all of the ones that start with Disney. Right? And we'll give them a border. An orange border. Alt, Disney. Oh yeah, so I forgot the border part. Okay. So if you have target equals underscore blank, the target has to be equal to that. if you have alt caret equals whatever, it has to start with Disney. So like, here's the value of the alt, but it starts with Disney. Here's the value of this one, it starts with Disney. Here's the value of this one, but it starts with Looney. Alright, so that's if it starts with a specific value. Next one, if it ends with a specific value. So I'm going to just copy, actually I'm not. So this time I'm going to go back to these links and see how there's 3 links here, W3 Schools, Disney, and Wikipedia. 2 of them are .coms, one's a .org. So I want to select the .org one. Alright, so let's say href is the attribute, and this time it's $ equals, and then we'll do .org. Okay. And then what are we going to do for that? Let's give it a border. Border, 2 pixel solid, red. Alright, so this guy with the .org has a red border. And then we could also say, if we change it to .com, give them the red border if we wanted to. Anyway, so the ones that end in .com now have the red border. Alright, and the last one, so we have if it starts with it, if it ends with it. Now we want to use if it contains it at all. So here we go. And this is the one we're going to need to know for later on. So let's say down here, we'll go back to the images. We want to select this guy because we're going to check to see if it has tunes in it. So this is what you do. So alt, and then it's going to be asterisk equals and tunes. So we're going to select any element that has an alt attribute, and inside the alt attribute we have the word tunes. And what are we going to do? Let's give it a border, I guess. Blue? Why do I forget? I keep forgetting to type the word border in front. Alright. So that selects it because it has tunes inside. Change it up. Donald. Or Daffy. Notice it didn't change because this is a capital A. So it's case sensitive. Alright, so I'll put it back to tunes. Alright. Okay, so that is the 5 different selectors I wanted to show you. If it has an attribute, and that attribute equals something, if it has an attribute and that attribute starts with something, if it has an attribute and that attribute ends with something, or it has an attribute and that attribute contains something. That is the selectors. Alright, that's enough for that. Okay.